Truth in Plain Sight, Volume 1, Chapter 4. Know thyself, Divine One, for divinity is a mirror reflection of oneself. Centuries upon millennia upon centuries, humanity has wandered, lost, at the thought of one's origin, at the thought of one's true self, one's true power, one's true capabilities. Throughout time, humanity has been manipulated by those in power, misconstruing one's history, one's origin, one's true capabilities, upon which leads man in search of oneself, in search of one's divinity, in search of God. Humanity must come to understand one's connection to the higher realms, sacred consciousness, source, God. You have been purposely stripped of your divinity, of sacred attributes that makes one divine, due to control, profits, gains of those in power. One simply does not recognize one's divinity because what stands before you is a shell of one's former self. For those of ancient past understood, after the cultivation of one's sacred energy, one not only will be able to interact with this sacred electromagnetic field that surrounds us all, for one has simply lost touch with the ability to maintain one's own divinity, upon which losing one's sacred consciousness, sacred abilities, plundering one into the lower dimensions, the lower consciousness, the lower vibrations, the lower 3 chakras. For ages, what has been lost to humanity will now be restored, for which one will now be greeted with sacredness, sacred woman, for which let this be the shift to the paradigm conscious reality that you currently face before you, for which, with this in mind, those in ancient past understood and had come to recognize one's true capabilities, one's true self, transcendence beyond time and space. For he spoke the world into existence, for he is the macrocosm to our being the microcosm, the extension to one, the extension to source. As those of ancient past had come to discover the power upon those very words, which was also bestowed upon them, but lost to modern day humanity. You have forgotten an aspect of oneself, an attribute so powerful, so monumental. It shifts the very fabric of one's reality. This gift bestowed back the power to man, upon which he returns to one that creates as he speaks, for which what was taken from you was your ability to communicate, to speak with the universe, with one, with Source, with God, for which one's words were in tune with divine source, one that operates within divine law, one of which that interacts with universal code, energy, frequency, vibration. The divine one, that in which what was taken from you was sacred language. The sacred language allowed for those of ancient past and humanity to communicate interdimensionally with the divine. The sacred animals, matter, and universal energy. Know thyself, divine one, for those of ancient past have all come to recognize sacred language. Sacred language was the key. To unlocking and interacting with this matrix, like that and akin to lock and key. Sacred language holds the fundamentals of humanity embracing its true divine nature. The return back to oneself. The return back to source. The return back to the divine realms. Know thyself, divine one.